Hey, we're gonna do something a little different this week. Usually we're at the racetrack or we're slot racing. So we're off slot racing this week. The racetracks around here, it's been raining every weekend. There's not much to do. Can't really record a race if everybody's rained out. So today, it's nice out. I mowed the lawn, took care of some stuff here at the house. We're gonna do something a little different. We're gonna do some work on this little guy. We're going to do a hydraulic brake upgrade and swap out the factory 70-tooth sprocket for a 60-tooth. And not really a tutorial. I'll show you the basics of how I did it. You may do it a different way. You may have somebody else do it. You may pay somebody to do it for you. But this is just how it worked out for me. Alright, so this bike isn't anything special. Let me pull up a seat here. It's a basic Doodlebug old school DB30 212 non-predator 30 series torque converter. I'll pull these off right here. Just kind of cut up the old torque converter cover to make it look kind of cool. I don't know if these are making it look cool or not. I kind of like it. Make it like that too, and I always throw the bolts back in. That way you don't lose them. Stand tight, nothing special. Just as long as you don't lose them. This thing does have a stage 1 kit. It's got a center exit pipe right here. Spin on Briggs muffler. Cone filter on the other side. So pull that off. Get my wrenches here. We're gonna do the sprocket first. Just because that's what I did yesterday. It worked out. So then that axle just kind of comes right out. And just up the other side. Chain. And everything's gonna roll around on the floor, like that bushing just did. There. So like I said, chain comes off, not a big deal. Let's choose down that spacer. So we can leave that stuff there. And we'll bring it over to the bench and pull the gear off. Alright, so now got the sprocket up on the bench. Bench is a little messy because I was out here yesterday working on the other bike, doing the same thing. So basically these come off 5/32 Allen head. Nope, check that. These are going to be a number 5 metric. I don't know what that one was doing there, but put that away. So just break these loose. Doesn't really matter what order you do them in. Now I've already had this off because we built this bike last year, and I took the sprocket off, cleaned it, checked the bearings. The sprocket was bad. I cleaned the tires up a little bit. So this bike actually we got off Marketplace, got it off a friend of mine. He wasn't really a mini bike guy, so we got a deal on it. And I was pretty much the first one to message him about this bike. And him and I had known each other for years. He held the bike for me. I came down right after work, picked the bike up, got her home, got the stock motor running. It was actually, I had to put a carburetor in it, put some clean gas, put a new spark plug in it. The plan was to do a swap on that one anyway, but I wanted to at least get the stock motor running because it's easier to sell it or give it away if it runs, which I did. I actually gave that motor away to a mutual friend of ours a couple weeks ago who was building a project and I needed a stock 3-horse motor. So there it is, comes right off. These sprockets right here, these factory sprockets, are 70 tooth. These things weigh about 1.5 pounds. These are some heavy bastards. This right here, got on Amazon, cheap money. Less than 20 bucks maybe. I'll post a picture of the listing. These fit the doodle axles. They're 60 tooth, which everybody says if you get a torque converter like this one does, stock gearing, go down to a 60 tooth on a sprocket, make it a little bit easier to ride it. You won't be popping wheelies like Evel Knievel, and the torque converter can actually work more efficiently with a 60 tooth sprocket. So it's literally this simple. Installation is reverse removable. Make sure you get your lock washers. Just tighten these down. You could probably get your cool impact gun out, ugga these things down. Do the same thing, but it's just as easy. It takes just as long to do them by hand, and I just do them crisscross pattern. I don't think it matters. That's just how I do it. And that's it. Now we're gonna go put it back on the bike. All right. So we're back at the back of the bike, and what we're going to do is we're going to put the wheel, we're going to pretend like we're going to put everything back together the way it should be. I'm going to throw the chain on, and it's actually easier to do it this way, the sprocket's smaller. So the bushings are just big enough, and the tolerances in the frame are just enough where you can slide the axle bolt through, and then what I do is I twist, kind of turn the wheel, drop the small bushing on this side, your axle bolt through. It's going to try and poke out somewhere right there, and if you do it right, you won't need a screwdriver. Things like that. Now we can hand tighten this, but we're going to get back in here later. So we'll just hand tighten this, pretend like everything's all kosher. And we're going to get, we're going to find our master link and then shorten the chain to adjust it with this new sprocket. Alright, so found the master link. Pop the master link off. Usually a pair of needle nose pliers pulls those out. Little tip, a white paint marker. Find your master link. And what you want to do is pop that out. Do not lose it. Now, the way I've done it is I pull the chain kind of tight. And you may have to kind of hold it So I rotate the sprocket, pull the slack out of the chain, and that kind of gives me a rough idea of how many links to pull out. So as you probably can't tell, but I got to take out a couple of links. So kind of hold that there, pop the paint marker off, and we'll mark the link we're going to take out. And I'm going to pop the chain off. We'll go over to the bench and we'll pop a couple links out. Alright, so I got the link on the workbench here. As you can see, white paint marker, mark the links. And it's humid out here. And this chain break right here, I got it on Amazon a couple years ago. It was like 20 bucks. So basically the theory is, mark your chain. If you do it right, master link is going to end up, you're going to take out these two links here, and your master link, which we didn't lose, is going to sit like that. So let's see if we can make that happen here. It is a little tricky to get it lined up, but let's get it lined up. Just tighten her down. And this chain brake actually works with right there. So number 25, number 60 chain. This is number 25 chain. I bought this at local parts store. I think it was like 20 or 25 bucks for a 10-foot length. So we're gonna, a lot of this stuff you can find at like a sporting goods store, hardware store, local auto parts store. It's all just basic stuff. So there's that, and that pops out, and that's literally it. We just need to take out a couple of links. So if we did it right, that master is going to drop right in. So let's go back over to the bike, get the chain put back on. Alright, so we're back over to the bike. Master link, haven't launched it yet. Sits right up on top there. So now, I'm just going to feed it through. And there's no real good way to do this. So I figure we'll just do this, and we can get the chain onto the sprocket and kind of rotate it, let it pull it underneath the bike. And perfect world. You have to rotate that a little bit more. So when I built this thing, it's got a pretty close, torque converter is pretty close to the frame. I actually had to, I didn't cut the bar. A lot of guys cut this bar right here. Or they don't run a rear fender. I actually kept the bar because I want to keep the rear fender, but I had to trim the torque converter plate back here. There's a dipstick back here. I had to trim the dipstick, then I had to trim the torque plate underneath here. I get flamed pretty good on some of the Facebook groups about doing that because everybody wants to cut the bar. I didn't want to cut the bar. I think it looks kind of dumb, so I didn't. And let me just rotate it back over. Let that set there. So, if we do it right, that is going to pull, and see how we're a little short. So, what we have to do is just loosen up the axle nut a little bit. Turn this so I can get a little bit of slack right here. So, what I did have to do yesterday, and I might have to do it again today, is I may have to put a zip tie on the chain, because I don't think this is going to reach. No, okay. So, you know that master link, don't lose it. And go grab a zip tie. Hang on. So, little trick I don't even remember where I saw this, but this zip tie is just wide enough, and I don't have a tape measure with me right now, so I can't tell you how wide it is, but it's basically wide enough to fit through the chain. So let me pull this back, get some slack out of it. And what you're going to do is you're going to go one link behind, because that little barrel, if you pull that zip tie, that little barrel is probably going to pull out, and it's going to go flying across and roll outside, and you're never going to see it again. So go one behind it, pull the zip tie through enough, give me some slack, and then on the other side, same deal. I'll go one behind that one. And this kind of saves having to loosen everything up. I may have to loosen the motor up. I did that yesterday with the other bike, and I'll show that to you in a minute here. But I had to loosen up the motor mounts a little bit, give myself a little bit of slack, did the zip tie trick, chain went on, minimal curse words, definitely a couple of zip ties. So let's see if this will cooperate. So you might have to wrestle with it a little bit. But you see how it's kind of pulling, you just keep everything straight. Try to keep it. That one's going to want to move. There you go. So I just need the motor to move that much. And master link, didn't lose it. See if we can get this. Hopefully there's enough slack. Pull that zip tie a little bit tighter. Let's get the little nose out again. Oh, see, that's gonna go. It's gonna work mint. So there you go. And slides right in. Take a pair of zip ties. Take a pair of snips, cut your zip tie. So that threads out. And there's a little bit of slack in the chain. And just like the sprocket installation, is opposite of removal. Take your needle nose. Set that right. Well, apparently my master link is bent. The little clip is bent. That's something. Huh. I'll have to straighten it out. I could just go to the store and buy another one, but I've already been in the store once today. I really don't want to go make a 20-mile round trip for a $3 master link. So we're gonna put this back on. So apparently this link is bent beyond. No. I'm just going to pretend like it's a brand new link on there, and it's good to go. I'll swap that out. Yeah, see, there you go, just like that. All right, so that's done. And I guess we have to fix that a little bit. So that's probably the driver pulley. Like I said, tolerances are pretty close here around the frame and stuff. I'll worry about that later. So we're gonna tighten the axle back up. Ratchet. Tight, and there is sprocket. Oh, there she is. Get you down here so you can get a better view of it. The chain's got a little bit of, it's probably a little tight, but so you can see it's just 30 series torque converter, OMB warehouse pipe, cheapo Briggs style hardware store muffler. All right, so this brake kit that I bought. I'll show you a picture, exact one I found on Amazon. It's actually pretty sweet. These are made for, let me throw this away, your Doodlebugs, DB30s, Baja racers, basically same bike that we have here that we're working on today. Don't know if it's going to work for the newer Doodlebugs, because these lines, this is literally a custom fit kit for the old Doodlebugs. Cool little caliper, pads are already loaded, banjo style fittings, bolt on lever, cool little reservoir. These do take .4 brake fluid. The other cool feature is, I'll get back on this side. Right here, these little tabs that look like they're kind of bent, you can actually tie into a brake light switch. If you got a 12-volt source, you just run a couple of female spades, run your brake light on the back of the bike, if safety is a concern for you. They also do come with spare pieces of parts, spare bolts, spare pads, a couple of cheapo Allen wrenches. I use up some of the zip ties, but this is what else comes in the kit. It's a bunch of cheap ass zip ties. I have my own that I use. Just bought a package of 100 of them. Gonna use them up, so that's what I use. So let's get this kit on that bike. So what I did before we decided to swap the brakes on this thing is I went and I zip tied all these cables, all the wires and stuff. Kind of made it look a little cleaner. What we're gonna have to do is undo the zip ties, because I ran the stock brake cable down behind the number plate along this side of the frame and zip tied out of the way. So I'll pull the seat off, cut the zip ties, pull the cable apart. Alright, so there's your third bolts. Seat comes off. Put the bolts in the seat so don't lose it. Now, zip tie here, there's one here, and this is all the wiring and stuff, because I use a run leader tachometer. Has a temperature probe on it. These things are like, I don't know, 30 bucks on Amazon. So here, take our 10 snips. You can use a pair of cable cutters, wire cutters, whatever you want to call them. There's that. And I unhook this. And I'll just do that. Keep that out of the way. We'll come back to that later. We may have to take the number plate off, just because the cables go down behind there. That's just a couple of zip ties. And put that aside. The shop was clean before I started working on this, so no, this one here is going to be different. We have to pull the rip off. So calipers held on with a couple of 10mm screws. Pretty straightforward. You unbolt it. I'm going to work on getting this lever off. Alright, so I got the grip off, got the lever off. I forgot I'd wound this wire all around the brake cable. It's kind of my own deal. So throw the grip back on. And these are just cheapo Walmart bike grips. I figured we get fancy with these bikes. We get some good grips, but these are just, they're like, I don't know, $8.99 a pair. They're not that great, but if you're wearing gloves, you're never gonna know. So we'll grab the brakes. And these little Allen heads, 5/32 wrench. Just break them loose. Just break them loose. Break them loose. There we go. All right. So the other one's gonna come loose. There we go. Okay. So the lever that was on this bike was the OG original lever. It was a one piece. The one on the other bike that I did yesterday was a split lever, because I bought that frame as a roller, had nothing on it except for the wheels and the forks. So I had to buy levers and all the pieces and parts. So we'll thread these, and this just bolts right on. Let's see if I can do this without losing a bolt. Alright, so that's threaded in. Get the other one put on. And it's pretty simple. It's just a 2-piece lever. It's like anything else. Now you can sit here and adjust them. I'm just going to put them there. I'll adjust them later when we go ride. So tighten them up and give that one a good little twist. All right, so that's tight. Now, when I say these things are made, these hoses are made for this bike, it is a legit exact fit. You got to run the brake hose down these front tubes on the other side, underneath the pull cord, and then up over. I'll get you over on the other side and I'll show you how all that goes together. So we're on this side of the bike now, and I'm going to run the brake hose down, and then down underneath here. It's got to come between the pull cord and the foot peg, and then run right along this frame rail here. So yeah, this thing is twisted, so you got to untwist them when you pull them out. So it's kind of a, I think I ran it through here. And let's get the cord down. Oh, hang on. Let's uncurl this for a minute. Untwist. There we go. Okay. I'm sure some guys will sit here and adjust that banjo. I'm not going to. I'm gonna run down here. It's supposed to follow right down here. We're gonna go underneath. And so yeah, when I say this is a direct fit, it's gonna fit like it's tight. So they do give you new hardware in the box. My hardware's still good. I'm gonna grab those bolts and we'll get the caliper bolted on. Seat over so I can sit down with you and show you how this all goes together. So it's pretty straightforward. So basically, you're gonna feed this, and there's nothing in here. Some brake caliper kits give you a little foam block that you gotta pull out. They actually put a stopper in the lever on this kit here, so you can slide this on the bracket on your caliper and not have to worry about any foam pieces. Get a better view of what I'm doing over here. Let's have a pocket and a screwdriver I'm sitting on. So this literally just turns in. And there's a motorcycle driving by. It's probably Harley. I'm pretty sure they're listening to Van Halen. So that started. Yeah, that sounds like Van Halen. those bolts. Just tighten right in. And they're a 10mm head, so as long as you don't lose a 10mm socket. So literally it's so simple. And the only reason it didn't go any quicker than this because I'm actually kind of showing you guys how to do this. Yesterday I think I did the brake swap and it took me, I don't know, less than an hour. It took me more time to pull the old pieces off. So, let's see, this is the easiest easiest swap. You just tighten it down, and so you don't even have to mess with the bleeder. I leave the cap on, and really, that's it. It just bolts on. We can zip tie the cable out of the way. Grab a couple of zip ties here, made in America. So what I did is I basically zip tied it here. I think I actually pulled the bike off the ground to do this. I think I did. But we're going to try to do it this way because I don't want to pick the bike up right now. Being a little lazy today. So, these little plastic stands, Harbor Freight, like less than 10 bucks. They just fold up. Definitely strong enough to hold the bike like this. So, just to tie that out of the way. There's that. We'll do a couple more in the front. Okay, so maybe we get away with 2 zip ties. I think that's going to sit there just fine. Probably could have put the zip tie in that rubber piece right there. Whatever, ain't worry about it. We'll trim those up. And legit, that's all there is to it. I'll put the rest of this back together, and it's literally just, I don't know, thread this back down through here, plug this back in, put the number plate back on, and that's it. All right, so here's a closer look at the piston. Like I said, she bolts in factory location, no welding, no drilling, no nothing. Just bolts right in. I ran the cable underneath pull start, put underneath, zip tied it up behind the number plate, and then back to the lever. And like I did mention, you can see it, .4 brake fluid. This thing comes pre-bled, so usually there's a little foam. There's a little foam something. There it goes. So they give you a little foam block that's usually jammed in the lever right there. That just fell out, as you could hear. So now these things are ready to go. And we got sprocket on. Everything's bolted back down there. The motor's tightened back up. Chain tension's checked. Everything looks good. I do kind of like that open sprocket there. It looks a little more racy. So let me take you out and I'll show you the other bike I did yesterday. Follow me outside here, out of the dungeon. So here's the blue one. This one's a Baja Racer, a little bit smaller frame-wise, all the same parts. The same deal. There's your sprocket. This one, if you notice, is a little different. That bar right there, that crossbar, the guy that owned this frame before I did cut it out. So I had a local friend weld it back in and realized that the chain was going to be in the way, but it cleared. And then I'll go back around. Same deal. Caliper bolts in stock location. Ran the cable up underneath pole start. And up behind the number plate. And on the left hand side. So that pretty much killed, I don't know, an hour or two. I said the one I did yesterday, it took half an hour. But here I was kind of showing you how it goes, how it comes apart, how it goes back together. So this thing is all set, ready to ride, and hopefully it doesn't rain on the weekend, so we can get out there and enjoy some trails. So maybe, depending on how the race season goes, maybe we'll do some more of these videos, or maybe we'll see you at a track at the area, in the area, you know, soon, if it doesn't rain on Friday or Saturday. But it's New England, and the weather forecast for next week already calls for rain on Saturday, so we might be back in here in the shed working on some mini bike stuff. See you later.